SportsTissueBox.com.
SportsTissueBox.com.
Get your SportsTissueBox.com.
Football season is here, and what better way to commemorate the season than to grab your sports tissue box now at sportstissueboxes.com. Whether you're celebrating the thrill of victory or agony defeat, sports tissue boxes are there for both young and old. Grab your sports tissue box now at sportstissueboxes.com.
Call them, baby, the Mets are here.
Right here for you.
Regain your financial freedom by grabbing the book 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, an Amazon bestseller written by none other than Dr. Boyce Watkins. Grab the book now. Also, heating up summer 2023, B1 the movie, starring Dr. Claude Anderson, Madam President, and Riza Islam. Atlanta, Georgia, get ready. The All-Black National Convention is coming your way October 2023. We had the privilege of attending an All-Black National Convention. It was an absolutely life-changing experience. To get a free Dr. Boyce Watkins Black Business School training on how to make money without working, text the word STOCK to 31996.
Last topic is Jay Morrison.
Yeah,
Tulsa
man.
Real Estate Fund. Now, we've known about this since its inception. We're supposed to have Jay Morrison on the show. In fact, the only interaction we've had with him is inviting him on the show probably about 2019. Him giving us a shout out on the work we do. He said he loved the work, appreciated the work. Was supposed to come on, never came on, never heard from him since. And that's fine. He has the right not to come on. But then since, we've seen a lot of things that just, raise eyebrows, to say the least. And recently, his Tulsa Real Estate Fund has been taking a lot of criticism. They've been breaking down numbers, and numbers don't look good, and a lot of people are out there claiming that he's scamming them. It is what it is. A lot of people are saying that he took money from them. Now, when it comes to real estate and these type of things are very fickle, and there's a lot of nuances involved on whether people invested and lost investments or they were actually scammed out of money. And right now, it's looking as if, according to paperwork and according to things, that he scammed people out of money. Now, Dr. Boyce falls into this. Dr. Boyce invested $10,000 into the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And Jay Morrison, obviously, is an advocate of Jay Morrison, follows the brother's work. They're cool. And has been taking the bat for Jay Morrison the last couple of months when it comes to this Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And, in fact, has ingratiated himself into it to where now people are calling him a scammer. And now here comes us.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Boyce and us have a great relationship. That's a good brother to us. Never scammed us, never did anything wrong to us. Wanted us to promote commercials on things that he have coming on within the next couple of weeks and months now. Obviously, we did so because we already had a great relationship, and now we get thrown into this and get things thrown at us in regards to the credibility of Dr. Boyce and, to a certain degree, us.
Yeah.
Which makes us now want to talk about it. So I've gave people the kind of overall gist of what's going on. Oh, the floor is yours, brother. You go ahead and take this off first, man.
Yeah. Nah, a lot of people leaving comments. Let me listen to the comments. And certain things is like, okay, you brush them off, but this is something that has to be addressed because, first of all, we have no formal history with Jay Morrison, though the fact that we, at a point in time, maybe 4 years ago, thought that we liked his work. Yeah. Thought we liked what he stood for, so we invited him on the show. I think he may have accepted, never showed up. Mm-hmm. Water under the bridge, right?
Right.
But then people started making videos. And first, I'm going to say this. I think some of the people that's calling people scammers are scammers. I ain't going to mention no names today, but I do believe that. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, man, I just feel like with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, and Boyce, I think, I was listening to him yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think that's a friend of his.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to defend his friend to the end. And the analogy that he made yesterday was kind of like, people make mistakes in business and things like that. But I think it's a difference between a mistake and somebody blatantly trying to have a come up on somebody. I'm not going to use the word defraud, but making a come up on a situation, because the way that I seen it, the way that I interpreted it, even the name Tulsa Real Estate Fund, it makes you believe that all these black people are going to come together, and rebuild a Black Wall Street. We're going to pull all this money in, and get businesses and get buildings and things like that. And you can come in and you can open your business. I go my business here, and we're recreating the Black Wall Street. And if I'm not mistaken, there were probably even conversations where Jay Morrison may have even led on to that. But it turned into a place called the Black House, which is a big commercial center where I'm not sure if people can rent office space out of that particular. I'm not sure, but I know that I've seen him and his wife in there. Where's the real estate though? Like, so you mean to tell me that you got one place with all that money, one place that's a place where people can come at and do what? You know what I mean? And then you put, you got these people, the head investor, who put $40,000 in it. And people are expecting to make some type of return off of that. You're not expecting to put your money into something and it just go belly up.
Right.
You're expecting to either get some type of return, get some ownership and some property down the line. I thought about investing in it at one point. Yeah. It was like the minimum joint 500. I'm like, I could do that. You know what I mean? Put it into it. So a lot of people I see in these in the internet community, a lot of people are scamming in a way where they're selling they're kind of selling hope in a certain way. That sound like, all right, if you give me your money, then it's going to be this. And what we see from the numbers, it ain't that. We see that it is terrible. We see that people are losing money. We see that from the projections that it's going to eventually most likely be bankrupt. I don't know how you could defend something like that. I don't know. And it's rubbing me the wrong way a little bit. But hey, that is what it is.
And we're no accountants, right? By any stretch of imagination,
Right.
There's people out there that are breaking down the actual numbers and the tiny figures and the numbers and stuff and give you that. But correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't his payroll in question as well? Because he took a pretty substantial amount of money or payroll.
Yeah, that was another part that I've seen from people who was doing presentations that he paid himself, a significant portion of the money. You know what I mean? To do what? I don't know.
So let me. Okay, so if I give you $40,000 to invest in something you have going, a beard oil or whatever, right?
Right.
And you got projections, we lay it out. This is what it's supposed to make. Blah 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 blah. And not only do I not make the money, but then I come to find out you paid yourself with the money I gave you to invest.
Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna have a problem in that.
And it is like, for what? What I'm paying myself for?
For what?
Right. It's supposed to go into the company.
We're supposed to invest and eat off of what we all bring in.
Right.
And divvy that up, not you get paid off of what I brought in and then I get nothing. Interesting stuff, right? Interesting stuff, and only time will tell whether or not he's scamming or not. There's people out there, like I said, that break this down very, very well. I want to talk about Dr. Boyce, right? Because a lot of people are calling Dr. Boyce a scammer. And I know a lot of people don't like Dr. Boyce for whatever their reason. We've been through this song and dance many fucking times with Dr. Boyce.
Years in a row now.
We've been through this when it comes to people not liking Dr. Boyce for whatever reason. Our interactions and our relationship with Dr. Boyce has always been a dope one. I'm going to just call it like I see it. It's been
Real
dope.
talk.
It's been dope, right? Anytime we talk to him, he's been cool. He's been cordial. He's been honest. He's been cool. Anything that he says he's going to do, he's done it. Anything that he says he's going, as far as business is concerned, it's always been clean, smooth, on
That's
time,
fact.
and full amount. Always. Business has always been clean. People talk about the Asian investor he got in the bed with or something like that, and they criticize him for that. People want to say that he's vouching for a scammer, so they criticize him for that. But there's been no tangible evidence, and please correct me if I'm wrong, or anybody out there to give actual proof and documentation that man scammed anybody. What I will say he's guilty of is loving black people too much. And if he's guilty of that, I'm sure he'll be like, you know what? If I'm guilty of that, then I'm guilty of that. Because I also listened to that yesterday, and he gave me a little more perspective to the situation, and I'm glad he did. He invested in the brother because he genuinely liked to see black-owned business owners flourish and be successful, which I can see in him all day long.
Oh, yeah, real talk.
Conversations with him. If we presented something to Dr. Boyce and said, hey, Dr. Boyce, we got X, Y, and Z. We like to invest whatever you can to it, blah, 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 blah. I don't even think it'd be a question asked. He wouldn't ask to see paperwork. He sees brothers doing a good thing. He fucks with us. He'd give us the bread. He would. And I think that loyalty and I think that loving certain people that don't deserve to be loved all the way is a fault of his. And now he's taking the brunt and he's built for it. So he's taking it all on. Meanwhile, homeboy's in the back not saying a word about it and just letting Dr. Boyce take all these licks and get all tore up for a dude that ain't doing nothing. And you could potentially be scamming people out their money and having this man look crazy taking it back for you. That's what I don't like about the situation. I got all the love in the world, respect for Dr. Boyce until he shows otherwise, and he hasn't, and I don't think that he will. because it just seemed like the brother he is for the last 4 years that we've done business with him. So it's man, and if it wasn't, we'd call it like we see it. It wouldn't be no business done if he was. We've done shit with people before that we've had to like, nah.
And I think a lot of people that I see calling him out, you know what I mean, calling Boyce Watkins, Dr. Boyce Watkins out, are like competition. You know what I mean? I seen couple guys that call him out who's kind of doing the same type of thing he's doing with the financial thing. You know what I mean? Or you know, selling this or selling this course or a book or something like that. You know, what I would like to see is the people call him out. I would like to see them all have a conversation together, because I can guarantee you that they'll come to an amicable solution. They won't be banging on each other after that. I can guarantee you that. Right? Like, I'm not gonna mention the guys' names or whatever, because I got relationships with all of them.
We cool with all of them.
We cool with all of them. You know, a lot of them been on the show and whatnot. And you know, I even tell her, like, dang, like, you kind of got me in the middle of this shit. And but I mean, that's my man over there. Like, Boyce is my man. Like, I only can go by how somebody treated me.
Period.
You know, and like I said, he's been an honest man with us, upfront, straight, was willing to help any way he could. You know what I mean, over the years. So I don't care what people are saying like that. Obviously, it affects, you know, it has a certain effect. But like, where show me a situation where he scammed. You could talk about situations he had with his workers and things like that. I'm at the end of the day, you, like Boyce even said, you're gonna have different, you know what I mean, disagreements with people.
Right.
You know, we had people that work for us that we had disagreements with or whatever that. You know, as long as they paid their money and go out the door. If you owe somebody some money, that's a different story.
Right.
But as long as they paid, they out the door, whatever, who cares? You know, so like I said, man, Jay Morrison is a totally different story. I don't necessarily agree with him defending, you know, him like that, and especially like you said, where he's not even, you know, come on the live stream with him, pop up in there with him and talk. Yeah. Like you hiding your hand. I don't like that.
Word.
And you know, he's taking, you know what I mean, blows for this dude and continuously re-explaining himself for, you know, for this dude. And dude's sitting in the background quiet as hell. It's corny to me, man.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You know, so again, Boyce is our friend, man. And like I said, too, we find out otherwise, it'll continue to be that way. People say they want to unsubscribe or whatever. Hey, bye.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Bye.
We at the end of the day, we're gonna keep it real and authentic. It's too much fake shit going on out here. It's so easy to get on here and bash and talk corny and all that shit about people that you've never met, that you've never dealt with, because you don't like the way they look or you don't like the way they talk.
Right.
I know Dr. Boyce rubs a certain person the wrong way.
Yeah,
he does. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he put money into coming down and seeing our studio, our brick and mortar that we put money to, and checking it out, doing an interview with us live in our building. That meant the world. Brought us out to Orlando, put us on an illustrious panel of hip-hop speakers talking about the destruction of hip-hop, and that was incredible. Gracious enough to have interview after interview. Hey, do you mind breaking bread? Can I advertise for you? Yes. It's always been dope.
Right.
It's always been that genuine thing that he says, black people, black entrepreneurs, black like-minded people.
Talk about it.
Doing business, doing what's right for each other. He talks, he preaches what he does. He
lives
he
it.
Walks how he talks, man.
And a lot of these dudes don't.
He does.
He's the few, probably the only one that actually does it. And a lot of people out there talk it. Oh, you're black economics. Let's do this. But you know what I mean? Nah, you trying to get money.
Yep.
He's spending, putting his money out there.
Yep.
You know, and even the situation that he had with different people on his platform is like, sometimes people just betray you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll bring somebody on, they want the spotlight. That's why we keep our circle small.
Hell
yeah. So like, you know what I mean? I've been through situations like that. Or they think I could do it. I don't need y'all. I could do, you know, all types of different stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm better than this person. Nah, there's no room for ego over here. We both trying to get it together.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? And anybody that comes in here is going to work for, you know, be an employee and be doing a particular job that we got right here. We don't need to bring another co-host on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's our stance on it. You can rewind it. You can fast forward, whatever you want to do with it. You can unsubscribe. I would like to keep you here, but hey, man, if you feel like, you know, our affiliation with Boyce, you know, was too much for you, hey, man, bye-bye.
Yeah, if it's that serious, it's
right.
God, it ain't that serious. But if it is for y'all, sorry. I'm saying if he deserves criticism, we'll give it to him. We gave him a little criticism in this video, and I'm sure as a man he will respect it because it came from an intellectual place and not a place of throwing shots or criticizing the wrong shit. And I'm saying he is guilty of capping for this dude because he shouldn't have to. But his guilt is in loving black people too much, in my opinion.
And my thing will be this too. In closing,
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you don't always got to answer your detractors. You're not
Facts.
going to answer your detractors. But I think this is a situation where Jay Morrison needs to answer his detractors.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to necessarily go on a show with them. That'd be dope to sit under a panel and go back and forth with somebody. That's how the people used to do it back in the day. You got a disagreement, you'll go, or even face to face, talk as men, and they got to be on camera and iron this shit out
Word.
in front of the people. But people, people don't do that no more. They shook.
Shook ones.
Shook ones.
Absolutely,
You
man.
need to come on this platform if you want.
He ain't coming on here.
Yeah, I know that.
He ain't
I know
coming on
that.
here. We
People
tried,
that
man.
do
He
that.
definitely ain't coming on now.
Yeah, well, hey, it is what it is. We seen him in person, but hey.
Yeah.